relationships with Dad, Joyce, Nana and Grandpa Seitz, and her sisters. And we can't forget all of our four-legged siblings, Peppy, Nanny, and Cece, to name a few. I will always remember my dad as not having the gift of gab. I guess I get that from him. I remember most just sitting and spending time together. He never missed sending a birthday card, calling or sending unique gifts as he and Joyce would find on one of their many worldly adventures. I have always felt love and acceptance when I came to El Paso, but most of all, I felt at home.
Hi, I'm Deanna, and Michael is my dad. I remember my father's dry sense of humor. He was always fun and would make us laugh. My earliest memory, I was probably about 4 or 5. We would have these tickle fights. He was very ticklish on the bottom of his feet, and we would roll on the floor trying to tickle each other. He was also the one who taught me to make French toast and tacos. So I'm going to miss him and the way he made us all laugh with his dry sense of humor.
Hi, I'm Carrie, and Michael was my dad. The memory I want to share about my dad is the time I was living in Tucson, and I was discussing about getting a pet because I was very lonely. Dad is the one that found a ferret, and he encouraged me to purchase him, and since that day, our dad and that ferret, Pharaoh, were inseparable. Pharaoh and my dad would sit in the apartment eating fruit while my mom and I shopped. Dad was never one to be outwardly affectionate. The way he showed love was through his thoughtfulness and giving spirit. Hi, I'm Karen, and Michael was my dad. I want to speak about my dad's generous heart. If anyone was in need, he was one to drop everything and help out where needed. When I decided to go back to school full-time, my mom and dad opened up their home to me. Then, upon my college graduation, they allowed me to join them on a trip to Australia and New Zealand as a graduation gift. During that trip, I had the pleasure of spending night and day getting to know my dad in a different light. I will always have those wonderful memories that will live with me forever. Even when I bought my first house, Dad was there many times helping me to make it a home.
Hi everyone, Michaela, and this is my grandfather. One of the clearest memories that I have of him was when he was my protector. I was probably 5 or 6 at the time. My grandparents had taken us to Wet and Wild for a fun outing. I was a very strong swimmer for my age and quickly got bored with the kiddie pools we were confined to. And so, being my strong, adventurous, independent self, I decided to go to one of the big kid pools with a giant water slide. I was tall enough to be there, according to the sign, but when I got to the top, the lifeguard told me I was too little and to go away. Frustrated, I stormed down the stairs and sulked back at the kiddie pool. My grandfather saw me upset and sat next to me while I explained what happened. I remember how he calmly stood up, took my hand, and he told Grandma, "I'll be back. I'm going on a slide with my granddaughter." We climbed back up those stairs to that same lifeguard, and when it looked like he was going to say something, Grandpa glared at him, and he wisely decided to let it go. We went down the slide and it was such fun. I remember swimming and splashing with all the bigger kids, and I was having a great time until the lifeguard shift. A new guy arrived at the pool and instantly spotted me amongst the older kids, but he must have missed my grandfather in there with me. I still remember the sharp whistle blows as he made everyone in the pool stop having fun. Then he pointed me out and told me to get out of the pool. I was so embarrassed to be called out in front of everyone and turned as red as a tomato. I might have even started to cry from the embarrassment. But I never had the chance to get out of that pool. But I never had the chance to get out of the pool. Right then, I learned what it meant to curse like a sailor. Grandpa tore into him. I was too young to understand most of what was said, but it sure made the older kids break into laughter. By the end of it, it was the lifeguard who was embarrassed. That day, I saw my grandfather in a new light. He wasn't just someone who would give treats and tell stories. He was a strong protector who would stand up for me when I was in trouble. He taught me that it's okay to be embarrassed in life, but to never back down and to stand up for myself, even if everyone else seems against you. I'll miss you, Grandpa.
Hi. Sure. Hi, I'm Jonathan, and he's my grandfather. My earliest memories were when he would shuffle around in his slippers, and he would give us candies from his pockets, and he would tell me not to tell Grandma. He'd always show us around to his newest plants and his little garden that he would have in his corner, because it would be the one spot that would be his, not Grandma's. And he would show us the little box turtles he would have, and he would help us feed them. And he would always roam around the house, kind of in the background, as Grandma would probably be the loudest in the house, as we probably communicate most with her. But I always remember Grandpa always mumbling under his breath of something funny or witty. And Grandma would be like, "What was that?" And he would be like, "Nothing, honey." But I always remember how he smiled, the biggest smile also, when our friend brought her baby to visit him at the home. And that was actually probably the final time I did see him smile, the biggest smile I've ever seen, and saw him from a different light. And, love lives longer than grief of pain. Other things pass, but love will remain. A bond that nothing can sever, because love lasts forever.
Just want to thank you again for coming out and honoring our father and his wonderful life.